Hello, my name is Brendan Rand. I appreciate you for checking out my presentation today. Today we're going to be talking about Houston, its zip codes, and the types of crime in these areas are all around Houston. Crime rates are often talked about, but broadly. But what happens when you zoom into a specific zip code level? In this data story, I'll explore felony trends across Houston that many new residents and newcomers have. Should you be concerned about a specific crime in the area? That it happens frequently, where you live, or where you continue to move with other friends. Using recent felony and emergency call data, we'll break down crime zip code by showing key hotspots, take a closer look at the most dangerous areas of the city. The main idea I have for you today is to take good knowledge and give you an informed data report to show you what areas to avoid, just to be on the call and be on alert for, and what areas might be the move to make that are less ridden with crime. In this next video, I'm going to show you, courtesy of KPRC Local 2 News in Houston, we're going to be showing an introduction of what happens and what we're doing about it. Take a look.
For families in our area, the federal law enforcement agency identified the top 10 zip codes for violent gang-related crime in the Houston area. KPRC2's Corley Peel joins us live in the newsroom with how long the feds have been tracking the crime. Corley?
Good morning, Brittany and Kathy. This is a joint effort between federal, local, and state law enforcement, and they've been tracking the violent gang-related crimes for over the past year, and they say this method is working. This map shows the 10 zip codes in southwest and southeast Houston deemed the most dangerous based on 911 calls, crime severity, and felonies associated with those crimes. Crimes like murder, home invasion, carjacking, jugging, and trafficking. The acting special agent in charge for the Houston field office tells only KPRC2 these are the neighborhoods getting extra focus.
Every day we have a significant amount of agents that are in these neighborhoods trying to identify what is the next target. We're doing it based upon intelligence and data that tells us that this is where the crime occurs and these are the people that are carrying it out.
An FBI analysis of HPD crime data shows that the 10 most dangerous zip codes being targeted have seen a decrease in violent gang-related crimes compared to last year, but there's still work to be done. We'll tell you how much of a decrease they are seeing in those violent crimes coming up at 6:30. Reporting live in the news.
Welcome back. After watching that recent news report, I wanted to dive a little bit deeper and give you a showcase of the types of crime that happens here. As you can see listed on the screen, the chart shows the top 10 downtown zip codes with the highest reported felony activity. As you can see in the certain zip codes, these lie within the 610 loop that runs around Houston, as well as the Sam Houston Tollway that runs around Houston. We factor in areas like financial status, income level, education, poverty level, and family level to why these crimes are being committed. We understand that if one of these areas are suffering, we will see an increase in crime no matter what area it is. And we can see on the screen that this is more concentrated more downtown you get due to the high density population and it's a high traffic community area. The data confirms with the news supported that downtown remains a high concentration zone for crimes, especially violent offenses and properly related felonies. Here's where our data will be getting a little interesting in our next chart. This chart that I'm about to show you soon will break down the most common felony by zip code ranges across the city by 50. We not only broke down the zip codes, but the areas of Houston to make it a little easier, as you can see on screen, to comprehend. This kind of breakdown helps us not just see how much crime occurs, but what type is happening so you can better prepare yourself in the areas of Houston that you are. Having this knowledge can reinstate the main motive behind why I'm showing you this presentation. You need to be on guard, no matter where the place may be. Take a look. So as we can see, we have 77009 through 77049. We're getting 6 property crimes a week right here. This is by a weekly basis. We're getting 10 burglaries on 77050 through 77009. 9. That's about 10 a week. We're getting 4 assaults on 77300 and 77349, that little range. We're getting about 6 murders a week from 77350 and 77399. Keep in mind, not every single zip code is shown in this range, but it extends to the left and right from onwards of 399 and below 049. Just to keep that in mind. Next, we have a city. On the next interactive data chart, I'll be showing you the most common 911 calls and the frequency it happens in these 4 zip codes that will be shown shortly. The interactive visualization shows how often felony 911 calls are made in these areas and what kind of correlation that can be made, because 2 will be in a separate part of Houston and 2 will be on the almost opposite end. You can see the drastic changes that may be higher or lower depending on their areas. They might not also reflect higher police presences, but more active reportings, but they're still a strong signal of community stress, whether it's higher or lower the number. Take a look at this short interactive data chart. So as we can see here, we're going by 911 calls per week in 4 distinct areas. So the 2 zip codes on the left are going to be 77014, which is Bamwell, North Houston, 77090, which is Ponderosa, Edla Boulevard area. These 2 are right next to each other. And on the right, we're going to have 77036, which is Westwood and West Bel Air, and 77401, which is Central Bel Air. And we could see we're getting 6 911 felony related calls in our first area, which is Bamwell, North Houston. We're getting about 5 in Ponderosa, Ella Boulevard, which is north side of Houston. Both have correlation to each other. They're right next to each other. So they're both pretty relatively low compared to, we have West Bel Air and Central Bel Air, which is about southwest side of Houston. We can see almost double in felony related 911 calls a week. On a weekly basis, we're getting about 10 in Westwood, West Bel Air per week, and we're getting about 11 at Central Bel Air. This can just give you an insight of 2 zip codes in a certain area versus 2 in another opposite end of the city and how they can correlate. And it depends. The higher density of the area, more likely there's going to be crime and related to 911 and just how it exports from there. This gives you a good corresponding incident. Next, we have a citywide heat map showing murders across Houston, color-coded by shades of blue. We're looking at specifically murders and not any other felony. The reason is we want to give you a general idea of one of the highest profile of crime, which is murder. The darker shades represent a higher rate, as you can see on the key on the left, while lighter represents in a lighter shade. We wanted to take the zip codes and divide them up as they are on screen and show you how it drops drastically in the north, but as you get downtown and south of Houston, how it darkens. This can be correlated to what we shown earlier in the slide with the news and top 10 downtown zip codes that have the most crime that are within the 610 and Sam Houston Tollway loop. This map gives us raw but powerful visuals of where lives are being lost and where intervention may be the most needed. So what do all these charts, data points, crime rates, 911 calls, what do they all mean? As I mentioned, my main idea of this presentation was for you to understand the crime that happens in your area and areas you will pass through for sure. I wanted to give you an insight to be able to give you an informed decision for your friends and family when they travel, how alert they should be. So should you be concerned about the crime in your zip code? The data says it depends, but I say yes and yes. You never know what can happen as people travel often Criminals can end up in the best part of town and you won't even know it until it happens. Some zip codes experience significantly more felonies and emergency calls than others. Some are hotspots for crime specific like assault, drug trafficking, human trafficking, and murder, which are all high profile felonies as you know. But others areas report less overall activity but have high concentration of misdemeanors, which can easily turn into a felony. I wanted you to know that this was focusing on felonies, but misdemeanors do not go unnoticed. What this story shows is that zip code level data matters, whether you're moving to a new area, investing in property, or just trying to stay aware when you're on the move and traveling. Knowing what's happening on your street can be the difference between risk, safety, and life. I thank you for watching my presentation. I hope you walked away with it with a good knowledge and a better understanding of Houston area zip codes and the felony crimes that happen there. Thank you.